All artists hate to be categorized, but the relational artists often worked together. Philippe Perrino, Carsten Holler, Liam Gillick and Rik Tiravanija had even made a film together in which they attempted to express some of the ideas they share.
My nightmare is walking through the woods in the snow, surrounded by people talking about how nice it is to be walking through the woods in the snow.
Every person's nightmare is to be walking through the woods in the snow, with other people pointing out how nice it is to be walking through the woods in the snow, with other people pointing out how nice it is.
Walking in the woods, surrounded by people pointing out how nice it is to walk in the woods, right, or something. Yeah.
Surrounded by people.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nightmare. Like the new thing, for example, now is like the eco-tourism and ecology. It's like you discover nature, but as a sort of like nice, harmless sort of like picture that we have to protect, right? Because it's already fucked up. I think that the apocalypse already happened, and we're all survivors.
What was the apocalypse?
I don't know, but it happened already.
This film also shows the artists share a political viewpoint. Like every other ism of the 20th century, relational art is left-wing. The relational worldview is like the plot of The Matrix, but with capitalism instead of killer robots.
Speculation is the genius of capitalism for finding new multiple forms of itself in a post-utopian world. That's why you get behavioural adjustments like casual Fridays, where you wear what you like to work. That's why you find pool tables in the middle of an office as a way to encourage open, creative exchange. These are new forms of soft capitalism that make people feel good while maintaining the old relationships.
Yeah, but maybe if people feel good, they're more likely to speculate and less likely to plan.
When you feel good, you are more willing to speculate and less likely to plan.
You know, we're still very much in this belief in the pursuit of happiness, achieving this by fulfilling the needs. I don't think this works. I think we have come to quite a degree of saturation of our needs. And post-utopian would be to give this up, this drive.
To be less goal-orientated.
The goal would be not to have a goal anymore. So that's a big goal. So how do you get beyond that?
I don't know. I had a goal which I wasn't prepared to abandon, to find out if relational art was a brand new ism. I went to meet the godfather, the author of the book, Nicolas Bourriaud, at his spectacular gallery. Bourriaud's gallery was full of relational works of art. They were interactive and political. I kicked around some footballs decorated with the heads of world leaders. My attention was drawn to works of art by Santiago Sierra. They were photographs of pieces he had made with specific social groups. In one work, he'd paid 300 African immigrants to dig holes in a grid in the middle of Spain. In another, he paid Eastern European prostitutes to perform S&M.
Is exactly showing the worst aspect of human relationships, today, which is hire people, make them slaves in a way, and exploiting them as much as you can. This is the interhuman sphere activities.
Right. Is it an ism?
No, actually. I never said relationism, for example. I wrote a book which was called Relational Aesthetics.
What is relational aesthetics?
It's a kind of ground of sensibility for today. Take the pop art of the 60s, for example, and you'll see that the common ground was the sphere of consumption, actually. Today, it totally shifted to the sphere of human relations.
Why is that?
And that's why it makes sense.
Why?
Because we're not living in a consumption or production society anymore, but communication society.
It's almost an ism.
If you insist.
Bourriaud was being modest. Every ism in the 20th century had an art critic behind it who invented the term. Apollinaire coined cubism. André Breton came up with surrealism. Germano Chaland and Lucy Lippard pushed conceptualism. Relational art fulfilled this criterion of ismicity.
In the book, I was talking about 20 artists, actually, from New York till Tokyo, but now it's like spreading out. It's kind of impressive.
Tell me this, do you think there'll ever be a day when there'll be post-relational works of art?
I hope so,
I now thought I understood relational art. It used minimal forms to make political statements. It didn't like global capitalism. It often related to the space in which it was exhibited. Sometimes it was useful.